Camtasia is a powerful tool for producing personalized videos for your students. These videos can enhance your curriculum by giving students content outside of class time, which frees up class time to do more student-centered and hands-on oriented projects. The goal of this video is to give you the fundamentals for how to produce a simple, basic video in Camtasia. This video will not give you all of the bells and whistles associated with Camtasia. There's a lot to the software, but you'll have the key skills required to produce a simple video. And then through exploration or potentially through future tutorials, you'll be able to expand upon that knowledge. In this specific video, we're going to address the following: how to identify sources of video content that you can use with Camtasia. We will also look at the recording process, how that actually functions and operates. We'll show you some basic editing that can be done with Camtasia. And then we'll talk about how you can actually distribute your content once you've produced it. So again, by the end of this tutorial, you should be able to produce a basic, effective video. The first question we have to address is what can operate as content for Camtasia videos? Now, the short answer to that question is effectively anything that's digital can be content for Camtasia videos, because Camtasia's primary function is to record your screen. Any piece of software can be a medium for the videos that you're making. Now, also, Camtasia allows you to import various digital media files into your videos. So this could be sound files, this could be images, it could also be video. In fact, for one of my physics videos, I imported a video that I had recorded using my iPad into Camtasia, and then I used that to supplement the video that I was creating. So really the sky's the limit here. Anything that you can think of that could be shown on a computer screen, and any digital media you could think of could be incorporated into your Camtasia videos. Now I'm going to go through real quick a list of some software that I use frequently with Camtasia, but keep in mind this is not an exhaustive list. You may have a different set of preferences for what software is important to you, but I thought I would give you an idea in case it helps you as you're getting started. One of the pieces of software that I use frequently would be good old PowerPoint. Most of us have sort of a library of PowerPoint content that we've produced over the years. And so this functions as a nice way to dive into Camtasia video making, because you can use this as sort of the backbone for your videos. And Camtasia actually interacts very nicely with PowerPoint. And so this is a great piece of software to use in conjunction with Camtasia. You can get a slideshow started and then record your voice over that slideshow. Another piece of software I like to use is Microsoft OneNote. OneNote essentially operates as a blank digital canvas, and you can really add anything you want to this digital canvas. You can add images, you could add text, and most importantly for me, it will also take input from a drawing tablet. Now, if you've never seen a drawing tablet before, it's best described as sort of a digital piece of paper. Drawing tablets tend to be flat surfaces that have essentially a digital pen, and you can move your digital pen over that flat surface, and that will be registered as an input by the computer, which then can be shown here in Microsoft OneNote. In fact, I use a drawing tablet for the writing that you see on the right-hand side. So Microsoft OneNote is something that I use a lot with Camtasia. Another thing that I use frequently with Camtasia are simulations. Being a science teacher, there are a lot of simulations available on the internet. So I sometimes use these simulations to add some interesting audiovisual content for my videos. Again, this is not an exhaustive list of the things that you could use with Camtasia, but it gives you a sense for what you could utilize. I would now like to talk about how to record content. But before I do that, let's take a quick tour of the Camtasia software. So when you open up Camtasia, this is what you will see. There are essentially a few main areas you want to be very familiar with. The first one being the center. In the center of the screen, you have what's called the canvas. This is where your video recordings will show up once we've recorded something. We don't have any recordings right now, hence why it's blank. On the left-hand side, we have a series of options. And these options primarily are editing features. So these are ways of editing your content once it's been recorded. And then down here on the bottom, we have what's called the timeline. And this is a place where you can get a sense for how long video clips are. This is also a place where you can do direct editing of the video clips. You can cut out pieces, you can add pieces, etc. So those are kind of the main things to know about with the Camtasia software. Now we're going to focus on the record button here. So you're going to, when you make your videos, you're going to choose to record. And once you choose to record, when you hit that button, there are going to be some options that show up. Here's the box that will appear after you hit the record button. And it will have various options that you want to take stock of. And the options consist of the following. First of all, starting with the right-hand side, you'll have the option of selecting the microphone you would like to use. And you want to make sure that the microphone has been selected to be on. Also, if you have any kind of webcam, if you want to have a talking head in your video, you could select to choose to have that camera on. Now, if you go to the left side, you're going to have two options for which portion of the screen you want to record. You could either do full screen, or you could have a custom box show up on your screen. The full screen is pretty self-explanatory. It will, record your entire desktop. The custom box is something I actually prefer because it allows you to record only a section of your screen. And therefore, you can have other things happening on the periphery of your desktop. And so that's sort of the preference for me. Here's what it looks like to have a portion of your screen selected. It might be hard to see, but there is a green box that surrounds the portion of the screen that will be recorded. And this box can be resized and moved to different parts of the screen depending upon what you want to capture. Finally, you should be aware that in PowerPoint itself, it has a special feature that ties to Camtasia. This is an add-in feature that you'll find under the Add-in menu selection on the toolbar for PowerPoint. If you choose the Add-in menu, you'll find that you have some buttons that show up, a record button, a microphone button, and some other features. If you hit the record button, it will automatically launch the slideshow and simultaneously begin recording in Camtasia. Sometimes this is a nice, quick, easy way to make videos, so I use this every once in a while. But most of the time, I prefer actually having my slideshow on a portion of my desktop screen and recording it that way instead. But I just want to make you aware that that option does exist. Now, this is the exciting moment. You're ready to record. All you have to do is hit that red record button, and a countdown will ensue. At the end of the countdown, you'll be recording both your screen and your voice. Once you are done recording, you'll have to choose the stop option on the recording toolbar. This will automatically launch the Camtasia home screen, and you'll be able to edit what you had just recorded. Now I'd like to talk about some basic editing features associated with Camtasia. Keep in mind that Camtasia is a powerful piece of software, and there are a lot of options for how you could modify, enhance, and add to your video. I will only talk about essentially how to fix mistakes, because that, I would imagine, would be one of the most useful things to know when you're starting out. But as far as how to add in animations, how to add transitions, and various other things, I won't be addressing that in this video. There's a chance that there may be another tutorial down the line where I'll go into some more detail concerning those options. All right, so to edit your video, the most important thing to know about is what's called the playhead. And this is the playhead here. You can move the playhead wherever you like in your video. And in fact, you can start playing your video from that moment in time, and you'll hear your voice from that moment forward, and also be able to watch your video on the canvas as it progresses from that time forward. So this is an easy way to look at different parts of the video that you're interested in looking at. Now, one of the things that sometimes can happen is perhaps you've made a mistake somewhere, and there's a portion of the video you'd rather not have included. Perhaps you would like to delete it entirely. So here's how you accomplish that in Camtasia. You slide the playhead to the moment in time that you would like to delete, and then you proceed to split the video clip. To split, make sure first of all that you have the clip selected. You'll know that it's selected when it has the yellow outline. And then to perform the split, hit S on the keyboard. That will then cause a split in the clip where the playhead is located. You then can move the playhead to another location. Make sure you select the clip that you would like to split, and perhaps this is at the tail end of the portion that you do not want. So then you have it selected and you hit the S on the keyboard again, and that will cause another split in the clip. You'll see that essentially you now have 3 chunks to your video. Now these 3 discrete chunks are now kind of independent of each other, and you could take out this middle chunk by simply clicking it and then hitting the delete button. That then removes that portion of the video. Now at this point you could just slide the clip over that remains on the right hand side and then conjoin it with the previous clip, and you could have those two run together to form your video. Or perhaps you would like to add some video to this missing portion because you feel like you could do a better job with that portion, or there's something that you forgot to mention. To add a portion to the video, all you have to do is record a video again. So hit the record button. And then when you're done with that recording, you can insert the clip into this portion of the video. So that could look something like this. So I have this other video clip recorded, and I can slide that down to the track below. Now, notice how this is a pretty long track, so I would have to, if I want to fit it into this portion, I would have to move this clip all the way to the end. You can kind of zoom out here so you can kind of see things in their entirety. You'd have to move that clip over to the end to then be able to slide in this new portion. And then you can slide that together. And that gives you a new continuous video with that inserted clip. So that's how you can do some quick edits regarding that. Now, in terms of the audio, one of the features of Camtasia that's pretty useful is you can look at the audio separately from the video. To accomplish that, right-click on the clip in which you would like to take a closer look at the audio, and then go to the Separate Audio and Video selection. When you click on that, you then will have a separate track associated with the audio compared to the actual video. Now, once you have a separate track for the audio, you'll see that you have this green line that shows up. This green line represents the volume of the audio. So if you would like to increase the volume of the audio, all you have to do is click on that green line, hold down the left mouse button and drag, and that will increase the volume of the audio. Or if you want to decrease the volume, you can click and drag downward. And this will allow you to adjust the audio levels in your video. The final editing feature I want to mention is voice narration. Sometimes you may not be happy with the original audio you recorded. So if you were to split the audio like I did here, you could actually delete a portion of the audio by doing the splits that we talked about before. And once you delete a portion of the audio, you could replace it with voice narration. When you click on the voice narration option on the left side menu, you'll get a screen that looks like this. And all you have to do is hit Start Voice Recording. And the playhead will begin to play back your video. And at the same time, you'll be able to record your voice. So that allows you essentially to voice over portions that maybe you weren't happy with initially, or maybe you didn't have as much audio in that section as you wanted. You know, there could be a variety of reasons as to why you would want voice narration. But this is a pretty powerful tool as well. So you've produced video content, you're pretty happy with it, but now the question becomes, how do you publish your video? In other words, how do you make it accessible for your students? The good news is Camtasia makes this very easy. If you go to the top menu and you select Share, you will see that there are online digital platforms already available for you to publish to. So you can put your video very easily on Google Drive or Vimeo or YouTube by choosing any of those options. Personally, I currently use YouTube, and Camtasia makes it pretty easy. You could attach a Google account to your Camtasia, and when you have that attachment, whenever you select that YouTube button, it will automatically upload that video to that particular Google account. And then it makes it pretty easy to share from that point forward. If you just want to produce the video as a digital file, you can go to the custom production option. And when you select new custom production, you'll get a screen that looks like this. So you can literally produce your video as an MP4 file that's also connected to HTML5 or any of these other formats that are listed. If you hit the back button on this particular menu, you get to this screen, the production wizard, and in the options that are listed, you also can just produce a regular old MP4, which is sort of the standard file type for videos. It can produce at various resolutions depending upon what you want. So there's plenty of options for how to actually publish your video and distribute your video. Well, hopefully this gives you a good idea for how to use Camtasia for the first time. I've given you what I believe are the fundamentals for getting started. Obviously, there's a lot more that you could explore concerning Camtasia, and I would encourage you to do that. Really, the best way to learn is to actually dive in and try it yourself. And I'm sure you'll find that Camtasia has plenty of features that allow you to produce the videos that match your teaching style and your students.